Hola, ¿cómo están? Today we're going to learn about two very important verbs, tener and haber. And I comes from the verb haber. Let's start with the verb tener. Here is the present tense of the verb tener. Tener means to have. Now, I give you the chart of the personal pronouns that you will be able to match with the conjugations. Remember, my system uses the charts and the position in the charts. You have to learn this format to be able to match the conjugations of the verbs. Then the conjugation of the verb tener in present tense is yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, ella tiene, usted tiene. Nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis, ellos tienen, ellas tienen, ustedes tienen. We have some examples here that denotes possession. Yo tengo un perro negro. I have a black dog. Él tiene dos carros. He has two cars. Nosotros tenemos dos hijas. We have two daughters. Ellas tienen una oficina grande. They have a big office. The form of the verb tener, tener que. Tener que means to have to do something. Then que is going to be followed by an infinitive. Always by an infinitive and not exceptions to that. Then you have again here the chart of the personal pronouns and the conjugation for the convenience to build the sentences. If you want to say, I have to study Spanish, then you will say, yo tengo que estudiar español. Tengo que, followed by the infinitive, estudiar. Now, you change the person, the personal pronoun, you go to the charge. And you go to tú. Tú tienes que estudiar español. Let's say nosotros. Nosotros tenemos que, don't forget the que, right? Estudiar español. Look, like que estudiar español doesn't change. The only thing that changes as you move through the chart of the personal pronouns will be the personal pronoun and the conjugation. And then you can build your sentences as you change the personal pronoun. You have here, él tiene que acostarse a las 8. He has to go to bed at 8. Let's say that I want to say I have to go to bed at 8. Then I just change the personal pronoun to yo. And I go in the same position. First position on the left side. And you choose tengo. That it will be yo tengo. I have to go to bed at 8. Yo tengo que acostarme a las 8. Now, you will have to change the se because it's a reflexive pronoun for me. Remember the reflexive pronouns? The me, te, se, nos, os, and se. Well, this is for the third person, for él. That was here. For the reflexive pronouns will be se. But if you change it to yo, you will be here. And the reflexive pronoun is me. Being a reflexive verb, you have the infinitive AR. And we add the reflexive pronoun at the end. But you have to change it as you change the personal pronoun. If we say we have to go to bed, then we have to use nosotros. Tenemos. Don't forget the que. Acostarnos, because nos is the reflexive pronoun for nosotros. And if you don't remember the reflexive pronouns, please go and check reflexive verbs in my lessons. Now, tú tienes que ir a la escuela. You have to go to school. Nosotros tenemos que viajar. We have to travel. Now, we have very important expressions with the verb tener. The verb tener plus a noun is generally equivalent to English phrases using the verb to be plus an adjective. An example of that is to have fun. To have fun doesn't mean that you possess the fun. It is an expression that tells that you are enjoying yourself, or we are enjoying ourselves. The same happened with Spanish. In Spanish, we have the verb tener, and then we have a noun. It doesn't mean that we possess the thirst, but it means that we are thirsty, or to be thirsty. Tener sed is to be thirsty. Here are many other expressions with the verb tener. Tener hambre, tener dolor, tener sed, tener frío, tener calor, tener miedo, tener sueño, tener cuidado. And the only thing that you have to do is to change the verb tener and conjugate the verb tener with the personal pronoun that you want. If you want to say I'm hungry, then you go to the yo and it will be yo tengo hambre. You grab the noun. Yo tengo hambre. Yo tengo dolor. Yo tengo sed. Yo tengo frío. Yo tengo calor. Yo tengo miedo. Yo tengo sueño. And tener cuidado, we use it for, you can say yo tengo cuidado, but we also use cuidado as a careful, or tenga cuidado, be careful. Okay, now notice that we are using nouns after tener. You have to use nouns. When you go to the dictionary, make sure you grab the noun, not the adjective, because tener works with tener works in these expressions work with nouns. Haber. Haber is the auxiliary verb of Spanish. Spanish have 14 different tenses, and haber is used for 7 of the tenses. Haber is the verb that we use to build the compound tenses. We have here the present tense of haber. We're going to start memorizing the present tense of haber. Personal pronouns here, and you have to match the conjugations. Yo he, tú has, él ha, ella ha, usted ha. Nosotros hemos, vosotros habéis, ellos han, ellas han, ustedes han. I is a form of the verb haber. It means there is or there are. One little word, I, the pronunciation is I. For two of English, two different forms, English singular and English plural, but I is singular and plural. Here are the examples. Hay un libro en el escritorio. There is a book on the desk. Hay 5 libros en el escritorio. There are 5 books on the desk. It doesn't matter if we have 1 or we have 5. The word stays the same for singular or plural. I have 3 different questions here. Try to answer them. ¿Cuántos libros hay en la mesa? And use in this one singular and plural. ¿Cuántos cuartos hay en su casa? ¿Cuántas personas hay en su familia? Did you try? Let's see the answers. ¿Cuántos libros hay en la mesa? Hay 3 libros en la mesa. Hay un libro en la mesa. Doesn't change if you choose the plural or you choose one book. Stays I. ¿Cuántos cuartos hay en su casa? Hay 7 cuartos en mi casa. ¿Cuántas personas hay en su familia? Hay 5 personas en mi familia. I hope you enjoyed this class and see you next time. To learn more about the Spanish Class Cafe, visit us at www.thespanishclasscafe.com. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to keep up with the lessons. Bye for now. Hasta luego.